Good morning. Today we are going to talk about stress and its impact. Our group is Nicole Garcia, Ferney Diaz, Diego Fernandez Ramirez, Camila Vargas, and Ivan Pineda. We start with our driving question. How does the stress can affect the performance of our daily routine? Currently, the consequence and impact of stress have become a very important problem in society. This is due to the physical, cognitive, and emotional impact it generates. As a result, interest in this study in different fields and how to control it has spanned. Thus, they have tried to find the causes, development, and how it can be managed.
Well, I'm going to present the questions and the results of a survey conducted by Google Forms to 100 people. Then I will name what were the questions asked in the survey, but before I want to clarify the questions are posed so that the person responds based on the last month. This was done so in this way to have a broader period of time when answering the question. The first question was, in the last month, how often I had difficulty relaxing or feeling calm. The second question was, in the last month, how often have I overeaten because of anxiety or stress? The third question was, in the last month, how often have I had back and neck pain or other tension-related pain? The fourth question was, in the last month, how often have I become easily irritated by things? And the last question was, in the last month, how often has my overall performance decreased and I have trouble completing tasks? Now I will tell you about the results of this survey, where in general in the answers you can see a clear change towards the options always, almost always, and sometimes. This evidences a high level of stress in the survey population. For example, in question number 1 you can see how only 70% of the respondents have not had a frequent difficulty to relax in their daily life, while the other 82% say the opposite. In the second question, 21% of the respondents say they have not had difficulty in eating because of stress in their daily lives, while the other 79% say the opposite. In the third question, the percentage of people who have had some pain caused by stress is 82%. The fourth question is the one that has the most similar results among options, showing how stress, depending on how the person faces, can affect in different ways. And the last question is a peculiar case because it says that 41% of people are not affected by stress in their overall performance.
For the interview question, help was requested from Jackson Buya, University with 5 psychologists, specialist in clinical psychology and director of the permanence process of the UPB. Jackson defines stress as an adaptive response to situations that generate danger or certain concern and that we can control to some extent, which is reflected in different ways, physically, emotionally, and with some behaviors. The consequences of stress will depend on whether it is an acute or chronic stress. In case of acute stress, we find ourselves forgetting some things, for example, in exam. In case of chronic stress, cortisol levels increase, which generates feelings of panic, anxiety, depression, among others, such as facial paralysis or hiccups, and decrease in endorphins, serotonin, and melatonin. Of the way in which we can control or reduce stress are those of maintaining a good diet, good sleep, and physical activity, in addition to using relaxation strategies, breathing, and psychological strategies such as analyzing our thoughts, avoiding strict self-criticism, taking care of our social relationships such as toxic relationships, avoiding the use of substances such as alcohol, tobacco, and cannabis. The university presents mindfulness program that help with stress management and mindfulness.
Bueno, muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Jackson Buya. Yo soy psicólogo de bienestar universitario, especialista en psicología clínica de la UPB y actualmente tengo a cargo el subproceso de permanencia, donde trabajamos fortalecimiento de habilidades, capacidades, hábitos de estudio, entre otros temas que pueden afectar la permanencia de los estudiantes en la universidad.
Also, we can see stress in some scenes on TV programs, movies, and songs, making it look like stress is part of a lot of people's daily lives and it comes with a lot of bad consequences. The first example is Olivia's Rodrigo song Brutal, that basically talk about the stress that a lot of teenagers must manage in this phase of their lives. The song says,
if someone tells me one more time, enjoy your youth, I'm gonna cry, and I don't stick up for myself. I'm anxious and nothing can help.
In movies, we can see stress in this case in the movie Encanto, when the character Isabela has a mental breakdown in front of her sister Mirabel due to all the stress of having to be the perfect daughter.
I've been stuck being perfect my whole entire life, and literally the only thing you have ever done for me is mess things up. Nothing is messed up. You can still marry that big dumb hunk. I never wanted to marry him. I was doing it for the family.
In the songs All Eyes on Me start being played right after Burnham collapses into sobs. The whole song sounds like a physical manifestation of depression that has taken over his body and his voice.
Shit, you say the whole world's ending, honey, it already did. You're not gonna slow it, heaven knows you.
In the movie Black Swan, we see the most serious consequences of the stress that pressure can generate in people. And in the movie I, Tonya, it shows that even though the stress is killing us, we still appear to be fine.
With you. I was just trying to be perfect with you.
It is not a surprise that nowadays social media and websites are used to share what we feel every day, and stress is not an exception. An example is Instagram, a social media where people constantly share posts about stress, ways to relieve stress, the consequences that stress can have on people, and more. This accumulated 8.8 million posts on Instagram with the hashtag stress. In addition, people who are influential in this world of websites are more likely to be totally consumed by the stress. A well-known case was Ruby's Oh My God, a Spanish streamer and YouTuber who, due to stress, social pressure, and other factors, forced him to be on indefinite hiatus. On the other hand, we have TikTok, the social media of the moment that is one of the platforms where people show the stress they have to deal with in their daily routine through the content they upload.
Saddest little baby in the room. Please tell me fears, don't get me started. I get a little gray.
In conclusion, stress is something that affects people and their daily routine on different levels. Some of them may not be affected too much or feeling a real consequence on their daily routine. However, others are significantly affected. For example, stress can have physical consequences that appear in their body or mind, affecting both health and mental health. Many people identify themselves with some or content creators because they express in their content the stress and how it consumes a person. Currently, people are talking more about mental health and their care of it. It's evident of the content on different social medias. In synthesis, we coexist and express daily the stress we experience and how it's affecting us in the different degrees, and that is why it's important to know different ways to manage. And finally, we did an infographic of some tips that can help with stress, because we know that the stress is inevitable, so we have to know how to control it.